Friends, welcome back to The Fundraising Farmer. I'm Jimmy LaRose.
And I'm Sandy Morkel.
And today we're going to continue to tackle major gifts ramp up. You know, Sandy Morkel's with us today, and she has been a veteran consultant, a veteran nonprofit manager, and she's real excited about major gifts ramp up.
You know, Jimmy, in my 24 years of experience in the nonprofit field, I really think that I've found something incredible with the Major Gift Ramp Up. It's things that I wish that I would have been able to implement early on in my career, in introducing new donors who actually become champions for the organization through the Major Gift Ramp Up is an incredible opportunity, whether you're a startup organization that has no donors to begin with, or you're a medium-sized organization that is really struggling to get to that next level, or you're a multi-million-dollar shop that already has major gift donors engaged in the organization and you really just want to take it to the next level. There are some incredible things that I've learned through the Major Gift Ramp Up that I love to do with my clients. I'd love to be able to implement that, and I just think it's an incredible opportunity for a lot of nonprofits out there.
You know, traditionally, as it relates to raising major gifts, an organization generally does one or two things. They either engage in special events and get small major gifts, or they go right into feasibility study and then right into solicitation phase. Sandy, what's the difference with Major Gifts Ramp Up?
You know, it's interesting because it's really the order of things that are done. It is, you know, I was in fundraising consulting for 14 years, and all 14 of those years, I was always under the belief that you did a feasibility study first before you engaged in major donor solicitation. We identified the major donors within the community, the ones that we thought were most likely to support the campaign or the big dream that the organization had. We took the case for support to them, but it was pretty cold. It was pretty cold. So here we are expecting these donors to react to something that is an organization's great dream that they weren't part of planning, that they weren't part of really developing and birthing themselves. And we were asking them, would you support this in the community? And who are the volunteers? Would you be willing to be a volunteer leader? And who are the volunteer leaders out there in the community that you think you should support this? And whether or not this campaign was feasible and whether or not the timing's right. So what Major Gift Ramp Up does is we actually introduce new people into the world of that nonprofit, people who have a shared vision, maybe shared values, maybe has that cause as their interest, but never really shown their interest before, maybe never stepped forward to that organization before. There's some really interesting techniques that we use, that we have our nonprofits engage in, that I have never used before in 24 years of fundraising. And it was allowing those people of wealth within the area that might not have ever had an organizational relationship with the nonprofit before, but were able to come into their universe for the first time. And then all of a sudden, they were able to develop relationships with them, and it determined that interest and that support. And then we sat down with them to do what we call now campaign interviews. And that's a different context, because now all of a sudden they are oriented to the case. They know exactly what's going on with the organization, and they probably have already thought about what their role might be in it. So this actually goes to further cultivate that donor in what role they may actually play. It's much more conclusive for the nonprofit organization, and it just results in much better altogether organizational development, and it actually leads right into solicitation after that.
So Major Gifts Ramp Up, instead of having another special event, or instead of kind of doing a drive-by feasibility study, what if there was 10 steps that you engaged in advance of the intimacy of a campaign interview, and then properly enjoyed, celebrated, and cultivated a prospect before you went into the solicitation phase? So there's a lot of great, easy, well, sometimes hard, but with great intention, there's different things that you can engage in that will ensure that you have a feasibility study, or what we call a campaign interview, and then a campaign success that's singular, where you're getting a result that's uncommon. Sandy, thanks for joining me on The Farmer today.
You're welcome.
We look forward to seeing you. Thanks.